Welcome back to another episode of What Now Garage. So, just a little clarification. I didn't show this on camera, but I'm going to show y'all what I did. I came home the other day with the 94, sorry, GMC 2500. Did a lot of running around the streets and everything like that. And when I got home, I was going to take off and go to the store, and starter died. So I figured it was a starter, but I actually was hoping it wasn't, because it was going to be a pain to change. But anyway, thanks to everybody else on YouTube, I got to see how they actually do this, because the way it's set up is a little pain in that ass, I guess you would say. So in here, as you can see, I don't know if I can see very well, but a nice silver starter back there. They have a bolt back here. Take my sunglasses off so I get my head in here. There's a bolt back here that connects to the heat shield, which is a pain to get to. Basically, it's that one right there. It makes it easier. A lot of people just take this bolt here off, and it disconnects from the starter from the actual bracket. I just took the bracket off. I literally just disconnected the heat shield and this bracket, and the bracket comes off. Then if you go up underneath the truck, it's pretty much the same as any other starter. So let me get my homemade creeper here. I rather cardboard than the actual creepers, because sometimes they just don't roll right, and then when you start to untighten things, it starts rolling around. All right, so as you can see, if I get my big ass under here, here's the starter. These two bolts right there in front of you, you'll see them. 1, 2. I don't know if y'all can see where I'm pointing at, but that's 1. There's 2. Once you get that bracket disconnected up there on the top, you take those 2 bolts there out. Just be careful when you take it out, because some of these vehicles have shims. People shim the starter to the truck or car. So this one did come with a shim, but it didn't have a shim on the truck when I took it off, so I didn't put a shim back on it, and it seemed working pretty good. But as you can see, as I angle this up, I'm hoping y'all get a good picture. See the transmission lines? Who thought of that? Ridiculous. Actually, my transmission line is actually here, spin it down a little bit. Anyway, how dirty this thing is. That's ridiculous. Try to crawl ourselves up under here. And I didn't jack. I jacked the truck up on its. Actually, I did jack the truck up. I put a jack on the front and a jack on the side. Pretty much a pivot point there in the center. Went to the center of the truck here, lifted it up off the ground just to give me a little bit more clearance. And it was just a pain. God dang, love bugs. If anybody knows what the purpose of a love bug is, please comment down below, because these things are aggravating. Anyway, once I got that bracket off, got the bolts off from the starter, dropped it. You have to disconnect the remote wire from it. I'm gonna give y'all a little hint what I did on mine. I know it's taking a little long for an introduction. What I did on mine is I extended the remote wire to it, the signal wire. I added a foot of wire to it. So for any reason, if I need to work on this truck and the starter needs to come out of the way, I can literally unbolt it from the truck, drop the whole starter to the ground, and then take the starter out the way. Versus what everybody knows who's ever done a starter, your signal wire is so short that you gotta get up in there and you gotta take it out, you gotta loosen it. I just cut the wire, dropped it. Also make sure that you disconnect your batteries or battery before doing any of this. Alternator wise, starter wise, all that stuff. So I cleaned up all the connections to the wires, put the wires back on, and I'll put it right here. I know if y'all watched the last video, when I changed the alternator wire, I'll see how long it took to start. So, me thinking it was the actual starter, the alternator is actually, well, the alternator needed another wire, but that being said, I don't have y'all on a tripod right now, but watch how fast it starts now with the new starter. But so, like I said, I thought it was the actual wire to the alternator, which I need to upgrade it anyway because it was too small. But now that we solved two problems, basically the wire to the alternator was way too small. It actually charges like 14.3. Even with the AC running now, it's at 14 and may drop down to like 13.7, which is in range for an alternator. But before I had the AC running, it was all the way down to like 12.2, 12.3. So the wire wasn't strong enough, so I ended up putting a 2-gauge wire on it like I showed you last video. But changed the starter out. Didn't really change any wires out on the starter. Same wiring except for that foot of wire that I added. Basically all I did was zip tied it to the side of the starter itself. It's all out the way. You can't see it unless you go under there and look on the driver's side and actually look that way, but it's still hidden so you can't see it. But that being said, we're gonna get back on this jalopy here. I know last video y'all saw me do all this work here on the sides. I'm thinking about going on this side actually. I want to get one of those tools where you can do like those inserts. You can put screws and stuff in. I want to try to get this fixed. I know I said I was gonna do fiberglass, but I think I'm gonna end up just cutting the metal out. What's bad about this is that this hole actually goes into the truck. And you can see inside the cab. So this, I mean, look at there's my finger. So all this is bad. So all this needs to be cut, which means the fuel's got to come out, the seat's got to come out. So I got to do all that stuff. Everything's got to be removed. So that means I get to move stuff into the house too. So I'm gonna get all this stuff moved, and then we'll get back to work on this truck. All right. So I use my little clickety-clack little fuel pump here, and it was boring. I sat there literally pretty much almost 15 gallons of fuel. Literally just put the pump in there, got it out, all the fuel out. I'm gonna try something. Don't do what I do. Like I said on the beginning of my videos, I'm an idiot. So basically what I did is I just taped off the line right here. I'm gonna try to just cut. I may cut at an angle here because I don't want to hit this lip, so I may just cut at an angle and cut all this out. Even though it's going right there, I don't think it's gonna go into the cab. We'll see, but I'm gonna end up welding the metal past that, so I'm gonna make the metal a little longer to where it's in this lip. Like I said, I'm gonna fiberglass that whole lip. It's not gonna be, the lip's gonna be there on the outside, but as far as the inside lip, I want the water bed to just run off. I'm not doing all that crap where it's just gonna be a big old mess. So I'm gonna try to get y'all set up to where y'all can see what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm just gonna I taped it all to where it's pretty much straight. Whatever I cut out, I'm just gonna put on a piece of steel or metal and kind of just cut it off of that. I thought I had a piece of metal back here in the back of the truck that I made earlier, but basically I'm gonna make strips like this, but longer. This actually might work. I use this for the firewall. This is a piece I cut for the firewall. This actually might work. Right there. So basically what I'm gonna do then, when I go do the inside, there's love bugs everywhere. Anyway, I'm gonna end up just making this measurement the same. Just measure out what length I need and basically weld it to this and then weld it to the underlip. It shouldn't hit the door because there's a gap. There's a huge gap between the door and that lip. Basically it's all the way up here. So you still aren't even gonna see it because it's gonna be way up there. I mean, even in there like that. Once it's cut and welded, you're not gonna see it. When I go to do that, I'm gonna end up taking the seat out. For sure. I'm not going to do that with the seat in there. Gas tank, probably. We'll move the gas tank out whenever we do the cab corners. Let's see if I can get y'all set up on the got a step stool for y'all, so that way y'all can see. Maybe the tripod will fit. Let's see. Just need to spin y'all around so you can see. That should be see right there. Maybe. There's a zip tie, y'all. Let's hang out. Let me get a zip tie. This video is definitely going to be a shorty. I want to try to get y'all as much content as I can. Like I said, I'm gonna redneck this up a little bit. Put a zip tie, keep y'all from falling. Anyway, I should better see the top of the truck. Well, this thing stops spinning around. That should be good right there. I should better see everything. Here comes the clouds. Clouds are coming. Let's see what we can ruin today. There's no mistakes. No mistakes. Just little adventures. Need fixing. I'm hoping y'all are doing this. Hope everybody else is doing the same thing, man. Come out here and do your thing. So I don't know if y'all saw whenever I was cutting, if you can actually see how this popped up. So when I go to weld, I'm gonna weld this across, and then I'm gonna push down and stretch the metal out to here and then weld it here. That should keep the metal from popping up again. This is like the inside lip here. So once I cap this, I'm not really worried about the inside there. I may spray some primer in there in between. Try to keep the rest from rusting. I don't know if YouTube allows you to curse, but I don't give a shit. Like I said, I'm not really worried about it matching that well because I'm going to be fiberglassing, and I think I just failed. Sorry. So I'm just gonna. The only part I really want to line up really good is like right here, along this edge. Basically, as long as I get like a straight edge, I can like kind of trim it down to where it's flat, and then I'm gonna break it here and weld it to this lip here. So I don't know if y'all can see. So before I weld anything, I'm gonna actually tack that together to where it's actually flat. Because you see, there's really nothing there holding it now. It's all rusted under there. Crap. These things, I don't know why Chevrolet did that crap. It's garbage. Like I said, I wish I could delete them. Man, it's a pain. I watched them do that on the video. It's a pain. So basically, I'm just gonna tack that together right there in this little spot. Boop. And then cut me out a square and a little curve here, and then weld it there. Like I said, all this is gonna be fiberglass. All this inside is gonna be fiberglass. As long as this part here is straight, we good. So let me get all this stuff set together. Let me try to put the metal all in. So after you see, after that little finesse there, I got the metal pretty much where it needs to be. It's gonna sit like that right now, but we'll try to start tacking this in and getting it into shape. Trying to tack it on the bottom here where it's gonna hold. Like I said, I'm not really worried about the bottom. We'll tack that right there too. I'm not really worried about this yet. I'm just gonna tack it to this where it holds it in place. That way it pulls the skin down. That way it's not all rolled over. So when we do the body work, it looks pretty good. So let me put something in between this door real quick. I'm not saying it's not gonna catch fire, but oh well. I just want to kind of protect this window. I'm gonna try to hold that up and just weld it real quick. Actually, before we do that, we gotta do something that everybody always freaking forgets. I almost forgot my dang self. You gotta disconnect the battery. So let me get the battery disconnected. We'll do this not catching this truck on fire. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I even got a ground. Yeah. Trying to get this lift. That's no way. Give me a spot where I can ground it. Give me a second. This is me fuck off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just get it tacked in place. We're not gonna really finish it because I'm gonna try to do all the body work at one time. As you can see, it's actually doing pretty well. I need to push down on this to get all that. I may have a bigger gap there, but I'll fill that all in. Grounding. Ground, you bitch. So not too bad. Besides the freaking grounding part. I actually kind of like the way that looks and how it looks high like that up against this railing. I won't have the fiberglass as much on this side. Actually, I tacked that while I was off camera, because I had to like grind all this stuff down and then kind of beat it in. Got this part in. It's pretty solid. I mean, it's a lot of shit. You know what? How about that? I really don't need to push down on that. I'm gonna just tack weld some stuff in here real quick, make sure it's secured. On fire. Oh yeah. I ain't going nowhere. So we're probably just end up tacking some more of this in, just to kind of secure it before we do anything else. But like I said, we're gonna end up fiberglassing this in the whole size. Pretty solid. Now I still gotta fill this gap in, but I'm gonna do that with that wire trick I told you about, how you just take the wire and kind of just roll it up, stick it in between here, and just kind of slow weld it, same as here. I mean, everything moves together, roofing off. And whenever I go to do the inside, well, the inside is gonna make this way stronger. I mean, it isn't gonna flex as bad because it's gonna have strength underneath. Only spot I really gotta make is a spot right here. I may have some scrap metal to throw in there. Let's see what I got in the cabinet, and then we'll try to just button that up real quick. Like I said, it's not gonna be a very long video. I'm trying to make short ones. Kind of do like Casey does. Casey doesn't really finish them. He just kind of welds his things in place, and then he does some of his welding off camera. So we kind of like just do all like he's doing. So let me see what I got so I can fix this. What are you doing looking over there? You're supposed to be looking over here. I don't know how they do that, this crap on YouTube, dude. They have the perfect camera angles. It's like they have somebody doing all this stuff for them. Ridiculous. Once they get to do it all day, I guess they get to take their time. Even though I guess we have actual jobs, so hurry up. So we can get content out, like a regular folk. So I welded it up a lot better. Kind of teach myself as I go. I'm not a welder by trade. but I found that if I just followed the weld and just kept pushing the weld, it actually filled the gap in. So I don't have to worry about doing that wire to it. Bring it down closer. So there was a huge gap in between. You can see where the weld is right there. Weld right here. So basically I'm going to continue welding this, but I'm going to do it off camera like Casey does. That way I'm not boring y'all welding and stuff like that. So as we keep cutting away, and we'll just spot weld. I just kind of put more weld in this. I didn't want this roof to buckle. As you can see, it actually still has to slope. Sorry for throwing shit around. I'm trying to get this shit done. So it still has the curvature of the roof right there. It can still be massaged down with the grinding wheel and stuff like that. But grind it all down. I even welded this together right there. You can see. But like I said, I'm gonna end up filling all this. I kind of like the way it does that. What I should have done was probably cut it to where this line, let it go all the way around the roof. I really don't want to have to do that. So just patch. I'm just gonna patch this. We're gonna fiberglass, like I said, from here all the way around, fill this hole in. That way the water will drain and everything like that. So, like I said, it's gonna be a short video. Trying to get some stuff done. Maybe the weekend we'll get some more stuff done. I think I got Wednesday and Thursday, yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm off. So we'll try to get something done. Maybe get the bed lifted or something, seat out. But that's gonna do it for this episode. If there's anything else y'all want to see me do besides metal work on this truck, open to suggestions. We can start doing stuff with the red one. I kind of don't want to break away from doing this one because of the work it needs. Like I said, I'm kind of on a deadline to get this one here done because it's going, like I said, it's going away. And the sooner it goes away, the sooner I can get another project in here and start getting stuff done. That's why I went to buy the Mustang. I kind of want to sell the Mustang, but the red truck's definitely getting painted. I'm thinking about going with a concrete gray with maybe like a hint of black in it. So like I got the hood already. Maybe we'll do some metal work. Everything's metal work right now until we get paint stuff done. But I got some dents in that new hood. I'm not gonna put it on because it's tan and the truck's red. It's gonna look ridiculous. I don't even want to primer it black and have a black hood on the red truck. But finish have dents in it on the driver's side and then a dent in the passenger rear where the tail light is. So we gotta pull that one out. We're gonna get new tail lights. We're gonna get rid of the tow mirrors. We're gonna put sport mirrors on it, or at least the factory mirrors back on it. Think about lowering it to where the wheels are flush with the fenders. I know it's a diesel and it's a long bed and it should be used to haul stuff. I don't give a shit. It's my truck and it's gonna be lowered. So that being said, that's gonna do it for this episode of Whatnot Garage. Like I said, anything else y'all want to see, just let us know. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll see y'all next time. I know I already did the outro already, but if there's anything else, like I said, if there's any other type of videos I want to see. Also, I want to do a disclaimer. I usually do stuff at the beginning of my video with the words and everything. I'm just saying out loud. Don't do anything I do. Everything I do is just pretty much by the seat of my pants. This channel is going to have profanity and stuff like that. If that's something that offends you, this is not the channel for you, but I hope that you do stay. So that being said, I want to say welcome to the new, how many is that? New 3 subscribers I got. Now we're up to 56. So thank y'all for following. Thank you for subscribing. I don't have y'all's names. It's kind of hard for me. I have to go through all and see who it is. Once y'all start joining, I'm thinking about doing something that most YouTubers don't do. As everybody starts subscribing, I'm gonna start shouting you out on every video, whoever it is. But that being said, like I said, I did 20 years offshore, so I got a sailor's mouth. And if that's something that you don't like, sorry. I'm gonna continue doing what I do and being who I am. But next video, like I said, we'll try to see what we're gonna do with the truck. There ain't really much spot we want to do on the other side, but we'll find something to get into, even tearing the interior apart or whatever. But like I said, we'll see y'all next time.